say, why the long face, Big Nose?
What are you calling Big Nose, Big Nose?
I missed the wedding. Why do you think I've got a long face?
Though, speaking of weddings, we might get something sort of similar. Maybe you'll dial down a bit, because we're heading on to the circus.
Yes.
With another fun little love story starring this little silly clown.
Yes, this is Attilio, and I couldn't find his last name. We'll just call him Piero.
Yeah, because
Piero.
Yeah, and his whole thing is that like that character actor that's also in the park, he has a crush on her, but he's afraid to confess his feelings because he's afraid that she might reject her.
Because he's a silly clown.
And so it's literally an emotional roller coaster ride straight into the clock gears of abyss.
So welcome to the abandoned circus.
At
least that's the kind of mood I get when it's all at night and this slow music. And yeah, that's the other thing is that in his intro cutscene, you actually don't get to see him without his mask on, so we'll get to see that as we walk around this place. I like his design.
Yeah, that's
Caccini,
cute.
that's his last name. Caccini. Attilio
Gotcha.
Caccini.
What was his like forced nickname in the novel?
Pensive Piero.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Also, just throwing this out there, here is right off the bat. I'm just throwing this out there right off the bat. If you did not have a costume that can allow you to jump, you have to immediately take it off because you need to be able to jump to these areas up ahead.
Yeah,
Yep.
and say if you are stuck with one that does not let you jump, fall down.
Yeah.
Well, actually, then again, there might be a portal.
There was a dressing room at the end. There was a
Okay.
dressing room at the start.
So
But
there's that.
otherwise, just something to be.
So
something to be
I
mindful
remember
of.
from when Logan and I were playing through this. This is when the game was really starting to kick our butts.
Curse you, adaptive difficulty.
I was about to say, like, was there?
Oh, there's Piero.
Oh, hello, Iron Panda.
No,
Iron Panda Bear. Which lets me do this. Oh, goodbye, Attila.
Okay.
Attilio.
Attilio. So one thing to be mindful of is that we're gonna have enemies that can actually create poison clouds. So we'll dispatch them, move up here, and the whole purpose of the Iron Panda, besides looking like a Totoro kind of thing, is if you jump on
Whoop.
landing, you crash down through metal boxes without
Yes.
even having to do a ground pound.
Yep.
That's more or less it.
Basically, Metal Mario. I don't know, something feels like it.
I can kind of see that.
On we go, and
I can imagine that being a bit of an inconvenience if you decide to bring that back to Chapter 2.
Maybe. Well, I guess it
Fair
depends
point.
on like. I would say that's only an inconvenience if Chapter 2 does have those kind of boxes you can accidentally break through.
we can. Especially they have the water ones anyway. And come on, can we cheese this? Nah, okay, you have to be on ground level.
Yeah, I was about to say that they have to take that into account. So I guess I can ask, like, aside from the adaptive difficulty, would you say there's like anything in particular of this level that gave you guys some trouble?
There definitely was one part near the end of this first stage, and you know what? Also gonna say this right now. When we get to the next stage, which is the haunted house one, that one played a lot with rotating rooms, and the platform was a little less than precise in those rooms where they wanted you to be precise. But no, otherwise, they're pretty standard. They did actually introduce a pretty fun. And we're gonna parkour our way up there.
Parkour.
Got it.
Yeah.
Golfing time again. But just and actually just up ahead they do introduce a pretty fun little costume idea. Just again, it's a little situational.
On the green.
Dang. Well, it's on the green at least.
Yeah, at least it was on the
Wind
green.
is tough. All right, let's try again. You're up.
All right, here I go.
Down the slope.
Just a little up there.
Good luck, Street Beat. You got this.
Overshoot, maybe. Oh. Ooh.
Well, you got closer if nothing else.
That was really good.
You know this reminds me of? There was not in this game, but in Dark Cloud 2, they had an eye overshot.
Wow.
it.
Oh!
How are
That's
you
gonna
gonna
look-
get it over there?
I was about to say, that's gonna look silly when you have to try and put that in. It'll look like you're standing on airs.
You are not incorrect.
Bet you love when golf games do that.
Behold.
Oh gosh, look at you, you're floating!
Let's just pretend that Balan is literally under her, holding
Just
her,
holding her
like
like,
holding her up.
you gotta make the shot.
Yeah, it's like, Dia, I did not expect you to be this heavy.
I mean, real
I'm
talk.
trying.
Real talk. That would have been an interesting attention to detail if, like, say if that did happen, like as a failsafe, Balan would be under there holding her up.
Yes!
Do you think that would be something that might be a little tricky to code? Ooh.
Not
Just like a floating. I don't think it being too bad. Just treat it like her shadow or something. Just have that follow it or something. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Dream logic or magic or sparkles. I don't know. I'm a dumb kid. I'll accept sparkles
You're
in
not
my
a dumb
life.
kid, Logan.
Yeah, you're an adult.
Exactly,
So
you're a dumb
alright.
adult.
Exactly.
So anyway, up ahead is the fun little power up. It's the railway mouse.
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
so
this
thi-
one.
So, yeah, this dumb adult is going to get to ride on the rails with this thingy.
He gets to be a
Choo-choo.
choo-choo.
Effectively, it's very situational. Again, you have to look for these lights, but effectively, it lets me. It works similar to a grind rail,
It's literally a grind rail, but a train rail.
and then you can jump. You can swap between rails when they present themselves. Whoa!
Yeah, this one doesn't look
Just-
like a bad costume.
No.
I mean, God, this is the fastest I've moved this entire game. Like more of this.
Yeah, seriously,
Swap.
please.
Damn,
You're
yeah,
thinking-
no, I like that.
I was about to say, maybe not this all the time, because I feel like going this fast naturally might make certain, traversal a little bit disorienting.
But like levels like stuff. Also, yeah, that turtle thing. We're gonna have to deal with him soon later as well. All right, Iron Panda time.
Eh.
Because I don't want to lose my rails. Come on, there you go. Dragging you along onto.
Hello.
Whoa.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You
Bumped
interrupted
right
the
into them.
dance. You interrupted the dance. Oh, geez, explosives.
Oh, Bobo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
these
they
bad
do,
boys, these bad boys blow up.
Yep.
Fortunately, I can as well.
With probably one of the lesser power-ups in the game.
Happy Blaster. It cannot jump. You press and hold the the interact button in order to charge up, to puff up the body, and explode.
Oh,
And it's very good area of effect when you're on ground, but for aerial enemies, you're kind of now stuck at the moment. So for now, while we wait on him to make up his mind,
you know
Come
what I
on.
think might help a power up like that? If that circle if the circle not only affected the horizontal hitbox, but also
Oh, yeah,
had
like a
an
sphere.
arcing vertical hitbox as well.
oh yeah, a sphere would absolutely help. That
You know what I think?
Oh,
would,
hey, Balan.
You know what I think would help that power-up? If they just went full-on Explosion Man.
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh well, we got ourselves another statue out of that guy right there. Ta-da!
I wish I had known that hat was up there.
That's
Oh,
fine.
you did not know about that. You have to go out of your way to find some of these.
I did have to go out of my way to find some of these, and let
Well,
me
you
just
know
tell
what?
you guys,
Oh, look, another one.
I did not like this level at all. I hated
Go ahead,
it.
tell us about that. Tell us about that and why you hated it.
This was when the difficulty spikes started to happen, first of all. Well, maybe it was back in Chapter 8, but I feel like, in general, this kind of what drove me to the point of, I wouldn't say insanity, but frustration. I especially hated the haunted house portion in the second
Yes.
act we're going to be going in, and I especially hated the boss. She gave me a lot of trouble, and yes, I said
So-
she.
Ba-
I guess with that said, would you
Yes.
say this is your least favorite level in the game?
Yes. Well,
Okay.
actually, no.
Oh,
You know
no.
what?
Oh boy.
Yes, this is my least favorite level in the game, next to Chapter 12, which we'll get to later.
Okay. Chapter 12 I know has a lot of difficult. I know it has a lot.
Go
of
get him, my
difficult-
fellow Tims!
Careful with those Tims, because you need some of them to survive.
Mm-hmm.
I forget if Tims are at risk of dying in these levels or not.
I do know that there's, we kind of seen it here and there, but we never talked about it. There's a certain type of plant you want to keep an eye out for. If you're careless enough, the plant will actually eat up Tims.
Yeah.
And I don't believe if you. I believe if you hit it. I believe if you don't free them. Hey. I believe if you don't leave the level without freeing them, I think it does count as you losing a Tim. Like
Right.
It does, yeah. That's what I read. And I think it also counts, if you don't feed the Tims at the Isle of Tims, they actually disappear.
Yeesh. Alright, I'm gonna get the slow turtle, and I'm gonna also be right back. But yeah, slow turtle is you fire projectiles that slow
Oh.
down things around you.
Okay.
So I'll be right back.
All right.
Okay.
Dainty little turtle.
But yeah, I think the design for Slow Tortoise is really nice. The power-up, however, is very situational.
Well, I mean, to be
Yeah,
fair,
I-
that could be said about a lot of them.
I mean, yeah, goes without saying, really. But this one, I don't remember using too often either. So yeah, I will definitely say, as far as power-ups are concerned, this level chapter does not have some of the more stellar ones.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
between
that's
thi-
another reason why I didn't like this level so much, because of the given choices for their outfits.
Also yes, Naka, I have played Sonic 1 before. This is not one of those things you bring back on a whim.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I will say it's kind of... Maybe I have to wait until we get to other ones, but it seems a bit of a shame that you say this has some of the weaker power-ups, because like I said, I thought that train one seemed like a really fun one.
The
one's-
train one was good. The train one was
train one's-
good.
The rest of them, though, I mean, give or take. And actually, speaking of that little block, block platform we just dealt with earlier, it's kind of funny thinking about it, because I know recently there was a Sonic hacker that actually went out of his way to increase the speed of those block platforms in Spring Yard Zone, and I think I think it was unanimously agreed upon that it made the stage a lot better.
Alrighty.
Because yes, it did look like it. Some may argue it might be going too fast, but they went way too slow in the original game anyway.
Yeah,
And the speed was just right to a point where you could actually deal with them while still getting a move on.
Yeah, well, again, a lot of it does have to do with the fact that it really, like reinforces the whole, I know it's a dumb excuse, but I feel like it really does reinforce the whole, faster pace that people usually associate Sonic with, even if it's not, constantly moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, again, stuff like that there are little nuances that can definitely help, better the experience, and that's one of those cases where the fans figured out a way.
I'm kind of surprised that, that's something that Whitehead didn't think of implementing into, the Sonic 1 iOS port.
It might be one of those cases where it would have been deemed a little too radical of a change.
Yeah. Alright, so what are we going in here for?
I will definitely say in regards to... Actually, yeah, we show off one more Mozart
okay.
area. Again, we didn't know prior to this that there are more than just Mozart.
Yeah, there's definitely more. I can say that from experience, but they're very hard to find.
Right, and all that just for a few measly drops.
I want to ask you, Jordan, unless it's something you've brought up yourself, out of all the outfits we've seen so far, which ones would you say are some of your favorites?
Oh, I definitely love Aircat and Frost Fairy. I like Jack Rabbit, or Jumping Jack. Not Jack Rabbit, Jumping Jack. And I'm trying to think of what power one I really liked. I know I liked. Hold on. It was either the bull or the bird costume from Chapter 5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the bowling bombs and the teacups. What a combo!
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Here
bound
we
to
go.
happen.
It's
And
your
there we
heart.
go. It's our little heart fragment.
Yep, and that's it for the first half of the circus.
Oh, actually, I meant to say, throughout these levels, there's supposed to be, the fragments of the visitors' hearts that you collect throughout the level, and then, I guess, in the novel, what it's meant to represent is, when you're fighting the bosses, you're pretty much returning their heart... When you attack them, you're pretty much returning their heart fragments to them to restore them.
So, literally beating the shit out of them.
Well, remember that cage that we saw in the game, in the second act, where we put the heart fragment back in?
Yeah.
I think that's
I'm back.
what it actually is. Hello, welcome back.
And just in time for Spooky Land.
I was about to say, that's
But,
funny timing on your end.
Really? What happened?
Well, I just meant, funny timing is that, we just started this level.
Oh, perfect, yeah. I had to go and
Spooky
I was just replacing a trash can around here.
Well, actually, since you
Did I
are
miss
back, I
something
do
else?
want to ask you, Logan, out of all the power-ups that we've shown off so far, do you have any particular favorites for your end?
Honestly, I just love... Well, first of all, not this. Because it's time... That looks familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is the part where we start getting around to the point where you realize that the 80 costumes was a little bit of an oversell. A good number of these costumes are reskins of each other.
Yeah.
With neat little things, like for instance, the only difference between this and the Pounding Pig is a small little shockwave is created.
So it essentially is just better.
Yeah, and then there's another one that I think also knocks back enemies. I think that's the Pounding Duck, or the Goose one from the Cat Girl world.
I think so. Oh, yeah, you gotta be careful when going through that, because it's poisonous. You need a certain costume that you get at the end of this act
We tried to co-op
in
jump
order
it.
to float above it.
Right.
That's...
Hopefully we can co-op jump the way back.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it, but it's a little ghost that we saw earlier.
Oh yeah, that's another good one. Yeah, no, genuinely,
Yeah, I like that one.
probably my favorites would have to be things like the hello. We can also co-op cheat our way up to a statue if we go up there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do that.
You should get those.
Yeah, I would say, bam, skip that whole obstacle course. I would say my favorite would probably be the Frost Fairy, or
Yes.
the
Okay, topsy-turvy mode. Be careful.
or the Air Cat, just because of how incredibly useful it is to just break the game like that. Oh, hey, Attilio.
Oh, he looks sleepy.
Or
He does look
sad.
sleepy.
He needs to get himself some caffeine to wake him up.
I'm gonna stub him on the toe.
Oh, there's
Don't
no
you
toe
dare
to
stub
stop.
one. Oh,
It was a trap.
careful.
I remember when we were playing through this and we saw the toy roll out for the first time. My first immediate thought was Razorbeard, the
Oh,
early
thank
years.
you, Timmy.
It's
Kind of-
yeah. We're
what's
talking
that,
about that, doesn't it look right?
The Timmy
What's
had
that,
a
Jordan?
key for us. I was saying thank you.
Oh, okay.
They're most likely all pancakes by this point.
Nah, they
kid-
come back.
Oh.
Okay, because I was about to say if they can actually survive like obstacles like this.
But yeah, no, I agree with James. This does look a bit like Razorbeard's like lower half design.
Oh,
same kind of
of the
pants.
costume. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
see,
gonna
he's got
want
the
to wait for
little
that one to
wood
fall.
Yeah.
Wait for what to fall? Oh,
Yeah.
and that's right. That's when
Those.
we're like, oh wait, a secret.
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 They want you to go back and forth to get to a Balan bout. Any minute now. Okay.
I was so mad because I couldn't beat this one. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the idea of the Balan bouts, but as you progress further into it, they get kind of hard. But I also blame my anxiety.
Well, the timing gets trickier, and yeah, no, James, I did notice that like they start putting. I think one of them wants you to do like at least 7 or 8 in a row flawlessly.
Yeah, they start to get a little overbearing.
Hey, Lance. All the more reason why I'll be again editing out all but the unique ones. So let's see how they have their fight today.
Tonight, you mean? Look at this scenery.
Oh,
Oh,
now
he's
he's
good.
pulling those fast moves.
But Balance got the upper hand. Look at him.
Yeah,
Yes.
because
Oh,
the guy was dumb enough to just just stop right there.
Finger
Run, you
lasers.
fool!
Look at that graceful move set. Oh, bravo, bravo, Lance.
I'm trying to think, like, is he trying to lead the?
oh, no.
Never mind. I thought he was gonna do a thing where he'll try to lead the lasers back at Balan.
Nah, he just could not outrun them.
Only if he messes
That, I
up.
think- Yep, and that was it. So let's just get on with destroying the. I forgot what these crystals are called.
I don't
Does the
remember.
book
what
ever
they're
call them
called.
something?
I don't think so. No. Oh. Uh-oh.
Goodbye, Balan.
Right, because we messed up at one point.
We got a great and not an excellent.
I'm okay.
It actually did sound like he was saying, "I'm good. Oh no, medic.
I can walk it off.
Oh no. I'll
Props
get you.
department."
I'll get you a first aid kit.
I'm okay, love.
Okay, if you're
You gotta
sure.
use the door mouse
I'm
thing
sure.
still. Over
Actually-
there's where we need to use the ghost power up a lot.
And actually, I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but that mirror that was grayed out back there, there's a reason why that happens. It's because on the other side, the mirror is shattered.
Huh.
So that's right, and you have to use like a power. I don't know what it is. It's mostly one that I have not seen yet, but there's like a power up you use to like reverse that or fix it.
I think I never came across it.
Because I do recall seeing a shattered mirror or two in the other worlds we were in. And here
Yeah.
we go. The cute Merry Ghost.
Merry Christmas!
Booga booga.
Just
Allows us to float, and we're now invulnerable. Now player 2.
You
though.
are. Actually, technically I'm invulnerable, so long as I'm attached.
Yeah, as long as
Oh,
you're
that's
attached,
right.
you're fine.
Like the leech you are.
You're fine, you're not a leech. And bam. So, I mean, already we're doing pretty good. Once we hit 110, that's it. That's all you need to beat the game.
Yeah, there will be
Yeah.
there would be no reason to get the rest of them, unless you really want that 100% perk.
That dancing Balan fiend.
But I've learned my lesson after 100%ing Mario Odyssey.
I thought you were about to say 100% Crash 4.
Or 100%ing. Did you 100% Crash 4?
Technically I 100%ed it, I never 106%ed it.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Well,
the platinum.
100% is still a bit of a chore.
It is, because I think you have to get all the relics at least, and then...
Technically all you need to do is you could just get all the gems and then finish off all the flashback tapes with the platinum, and that'll count. You don't even have to touch the relics.
How many of the insanely perfect ones did you get?
I don't even remember.
I think we got one. I do recall. I think we got one by accident in.
Yeah, we did. It was in
our
the
playthrough.
Yeah, it was in the last. Okay, not the last, but we were in the food world. It's the level where you swapped between Dingodile and Tawna.
One of the harder levels to get
What
a
the heck?
perfect relic on it.
What the heck's going
Oh
on?
boy!
What
Oh
did
boy!
happen
Oh
here?
boy!
I still don't know what
I have
happened
never
there.
come across that before.
I bet
But
you're
boy,
wondering
how'd
what
you have a
happened
bomb.
there.
Well, good night, everybody. Thank goodness we had a bomb.
Thank you, good night.
Good thing we had a
Goodness, we had a
bomb.
magic balloon.
Yep.
Anyway.
Oh, this
Now
part
now-
I hated. You'll see
and
why.
more of these roly topsy-turvy halls. So again, just make sure. Just throwing this out there again. Make sure, for the love of God, you have a costume that can jump.
Yes.
Yes.
Because
Also, I just something I meant to
jump.
something I meant to point out that type of flower that we saw earlier that had like the bell-like bud to it. Those are the type of flowers that can eat the Tims.
Yeah, so just jump on
Yeah.
top of them, or wait for them to eat a Tim and then jump on, and then they'll spit them out. There's us checking for goodies. Nope. All right, let's beat this sucker.
All right.
So
Let
the
us
boss.
end this sad clown's tale.
So
Yes.
since
Let's
the
give him
boss,
back his heart
we were able to
fragment.
pretty much like knock out really quick. Tell us about the boss, Jordy, real quick, like its name and stuff.
Okay, so named after the person he's in love with, Princess Mary.
Huh.
Oh, so it's Mary the... Okay. So, yes. So Princess Mary, and I guess it's supposed to represent his fears and, his fear of rejection and stuff. Like, it's tormenting him in the form of Princess Mary. The other thing that I think kind of looks a bit like, Puffy, whatever, in this
It
place.
does totally look like Puffy.
So, pay attention to that cutscene right there, because I didn't realize it. That right there is your other clue as to how to deal damage to this thing, because James and I had to redo this boss fight, I think at least 5 or 6 times, because the first two ways to deal damage to it were pretty straightforward, but that there is your third way of dealing damage. You have to be completely opposite Princess Mary, and then ground pound on the outer ring, and that'll knock her senseless. But for now, repelling the rocket is one way of dealing damage. Boop.
There we go.
Right off the bat, James is going to want to get the slow tortoise, which he did, because when it gets to the carousel phase,
You'll want to slow that down fast.
slow her down by shooting, and then just shoot her again with slow tortoise, and bam, there's your second way of dealing damage. So we just skip that entire phase.
Now for
Otherwise,
phase
you basically
3.
have to dodge those horses, and if you don't do it in time, that's the other thing. That's real quick. That's the other thing we learned. If you miss that carousel phase, it will not happen again.
Yeah, it's a one-time
Yep.
thing.
Because when we were doing this, she just kept spamming the rocket attack over and over again after that. So it was annoying. Bam! Get opposite her, and there is your third way of dealing damage. All statues acquired.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that one was obnoxious, but thankfully it's over now.
Oh, and also we ended up doing this after, I think, World 10 or World 11. So up ahead, when we get around to seeing our totals, don't mind the discrepancy between our statue totals. We're gonna be, it'll catch back up.
Thanks for the
We
heads up.
saved Attilia.
Here's
Attilio.
another boy.
He is a sad but humble fellow.
He's very, very humble, honestly. I love Attilio. He's one of my favorite characters in the novel.
How different would you say he is characterized between this and the novel?
You know what? Honestly, there's not really much of a character difference to him in the novel.
Okay. I mean, so I mean, I assume he's just very shy and very. Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm curious how they tackle that, where it's like
Yeah.
he's so exuberant and so outgoing when he's in the outfit, but he's secretly very shy.
Does the novel ever touch upon his crush on Mary there?
Yes, it does. I mean, here's the thing. Like, in the novel, he's actually very close friends with the cat girl. And
Aw.
he doesn't, like, he finds out about the visions, like, early on, because he's actually one of the main inhabitants you meet, like, one of the main supporting roles. And, in his vision, he sees the princess, and he feels this kind of yearning, and Cass is actually kind of jealous of that.
I think we talked about this, but like, I almost wonder if Cass is like the younger sister of Mary because like just of how similar their designs look.
It looks like it.
And speaking of Mary, he's finally built up the courage to ask her.
And thus, true love has been formed.
Because boy howdy, would it have been awkward if she actually turned her down after all that development.
And I don't know where Balan is in that outro cutscene. I could not spot
Yeah,
him.
I don't think he was in there.
So, yep. Mary is done. So, with that said, oh boy. So, going on from Jordy's least favorite level, join us in the next part as we're going to go through James and my least favorite level.
That trials accurately describes our profession.
The trials and tribulation of an artist.
Telex, everybody.
Goodbye.
Marianne!